when we're live.
All right. Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Dawn Mountain Sunday Meditation. I'm Sharon. I'll be leading this morning. And before we get started, I just want to say a few things about this program. We're going to be working with two forms of attention, developing, cultivating, working with attention as we meditate and do some simple chanting. And this is all in the interest of quieting our minds, calming our minds, making space for our calmer, more harmonious self to come forward, which I think particularly for those of us, and I think that would include most everyone, we've gone through a pretty rough patch this last couple of years. And I think more than ever, we can all benefit from really learning and practicing those ways of being that help us ride those waves, which is kind of what we were just talking about with the weather patterns. Everything is cyclic and everything is arising and dissipating. And to the extent that we can move through that with as much grace and open-heartedness as possible, we can not only weather it, but even utilize it to further our goals of living in harmony. You know, it's sort of like Jon Kabat-Zinn has that famous saying, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. And I just really have always liked that a lot and feel that to the extent that our meditation practice allows us to get into that space where we really are slowing down, letting be, accessing our most deepest wisdom, love, allowing our hearts to open. So I think what we're doing this morning, and especially coming together and doing it as a group, is really powerful and something that we are giving to ourselves. And so I just really think this is precious, and I'm happy to be here with everyone. So let's begin by assuming a posture that will be conducive to sitting for a while. So that means primarily we want our spine to be as straight as possible, our torso to be lifted, our neck to be long, our legs to be relaxed down. We want to be in touch with our body. We want to really feel where our butt is touching the cushion or the chair. We want to feel our hands on our lap, on our thighs. We want to really be embodied, because to the extent that we can be in tune with our body, our mind will begin to settle. And now, before we begin the actual meditation, we'll do our aspiration prayers, which is a tradition of setting our intention that what we're doing today, what we do anytime we practice, is in the benefit of not only ourselves, but in the interest of all beings. So we'll do the 4 lines, the aspiration prayer. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling To those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And we just take a moment to really bring that to heart, that we are wishing that all beings, including ourselves, be free of suffering and have happiness. And so now we'll get in touch with our breath, really again, allowing the body to experience breathing and for us to really notice what it feels like to breathe, to be nurtured by the inhalation, to rest in between the inhalation and the exhalation, and to relax on the exhalation. And we can gaze down the bridge of our nose, or if that's not comfortable, you may close your eyes. Or if you're a longtime practitioner that is comfortable with their eyes open, looking forward, whatever works for you. But in general, this is a meditation where we want a sense of ease and relaxation. Resting our attention on the breath. Allowing our bodies to relax, our energy to relax, our minds to relax. Everything in harmony. Breathing is natural. Being at ease is natural. Allow your shoulders to relax down. Everything relaxed, but with the torso lifted and supporting the posture. When thoughts arise, we notice, but we don't make story. We don't give them too much attention. Rather, we let them dissipate, returning where they arose from, that ocean of our mind. Now we'll sound the sacred syllable home together, allowing ourselves to merge with the sound of primordial wisdom. And we can unmute so that we can do this together at your own pace. We can mute again. And once again, rest with the breath in spaciousness. In our own spaciousness, in the spaciousness that we're sharing, and in the spaciousness that is infinite. Once again, sound home together. We rest with breath, our attention resting with the breath. Experiencing breathing, being delighted by breathing. Allowing our hearts to open further and further. Revealing our love. For all beings, including ourselves. As we breathe in attention, we can know that we are love. That we are brilliant, shining love and wisdom. Knowing our true nature. And the nature of everything. And simply breathing in attention allows us access to all of that. Simple, profound. This time, we sound the syllable home together, allowing ourselves to merge with the sound. Oh. So once again, with our attention on the breath. It really feels nice to quiet the mind, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Mm,
It does indeed.
mm,
Mm.
mm. And it makes space for us to mm, get in touch with our more natural self, our better self, maybe, um, our truer self. You know, I was reading something by Ram Dass because I get his little snippets in my email. And, you know, our current Teaching Tuesdays is on impermanence. And actually, I think I have. His snippet was on aging, which is, of course, one of the big aspects of impermanence that a lot of us are getting really familiar with. Anyway, I'm going to read it because I thought it was so, it's short and it's so, I don't know, in keeping with what I feel we're doing today and what these teachings on impermanence are all about. So he says, my work around the issue of aging is to quiet the mind enough. It's like standing back enough, finding a place to stand where I am not so caught in the culture and caught in a set of attitudes that I developed from my childhood and so on. So quieting the mind enough that I can see what is and respond in a way that is in harmony with what is, becoming part of it, which is the way a bird sings, or a river flows, or a baby cries. And I just thought that was so awesome. Because what's more natural than that? The way a river flows or a baby cries, you know, there's no contrivance, there's no controlling. It's just a natural, harmonious response. And, you know, it's so cool to recognize that we really have that possibility, that nature to be just like the river, just like the bird. If we can just quiet our mind and trust, I think, for me, I think it's a lot about trusting also that we can let go and flow. And so when my mind is quieter, I have more trust in that. You know, that whatever is arising, I can meet it without being upended. So I just thought that was really beautiful. And I was experiencing that kind of when we were doing this, you know, really feeling, and also I was very in tune with the interconnectedness between us, and then that expanding out, you know. So it was really beautiful to me. To the experience, not anything I did particularly, but the experience of quieting my mind and being in union with you guys and the universe, and trusting that when we can do that, it really is pretty awesome. So
You set up the atmosphere, Sharon.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. Well, there was something else. I wasn't going to, I have trouble editing myself. So I wasn't going to do this other piece, but because you said that, I want to read this other poem that again, it came in my my email as a source of great inspiration. So I don't know if some of you know Susan Cain. I did not, but I do now, and I'm on her email list of little snippet things. And so she's talking about interacting with people in a way that isn't about concerning yourself with how they are judging you or how they might like you, and you're not really judging them, and concerning yourself with trying to, get something from the exchange. This isn't exactly how she put it, but this is my takeaway. And so then within that, she's saying, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could assume this other mind state, which of course is what we're doing in all of our Buddhist practice and our meditations. We're trying to assume a more natural mind state that is kinder and less judging and more forgiving. But she's talking about grace, and she defines what she's talking about as, she says, grace is a term that's often used in an explicitly religious context. I'm going to use it a little more loosely to mean a state of mind where you do your best to show people, including yourself, love, kindness, and mercy, which I just love that. Love, kindness, and mercy. I pray every day for kindness, by the way. Asking questions of relative status or whether they or you deserve it. And so I read that and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then she goes on and has this poem by Hafiz. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Harvey? Okay. So she says, here's one of my all-time favorite poems by Hafiz, which pretty much says it all. Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, love me. Of course, you do not say this out loud. Otherwise, someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? And so
Wow.
I was like, wow, moon eyes, so I don't know. I wanted to share that. And then I thought that's going to be too much, just do the, anyway, but this came on February 1st, I think. Yeah. And so did the Ram Dass thing. They both came on February 1st. So maybe they both were meant to be shared today. But when you said that, Wendy, about setting up the
Atmosphere.
the opportunity, the atmosphere, it made me think. There was a point during the meditation where I was thinking, moon eyes. I was really, anyway. Yeah. So may we all have moon eyes. May we all be kind to one another. Charlotte, I want to say it is so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in years, I guess. And you, Ruth, lovely to see you.
Mhm.
Lovely, lovely. How are things in New Mexico? Good. And of course, Wendy and Harvey and now Shane, it's nice to see you. And hopefully there are some people on YouTube, or there will be at some point. So we need to dedicate and do announcements. So let's dedicate first. Okay, let me see. So if you didn't have a chance to put names in the chat, you can just say them out loud as we do our dedication. So first we'll do the blessing, the dedication, Shane, that's on the sheet, and then the blessing, but first the dedication. If you can't find it, that's okay. Most
Which
of
one, or the dedication?
the dedication, by this good may I swiftly,
Got it. Okay.
that one. And then the blessing with all of you in mind. Okay. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Okay, I'm gonna light the candle. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And so today we want to particularly dedicate to Steve Joseph in the Bardo, Angela O'Byrne, Joanne Schneider and family, all involved in the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria in the Bardo. Biscuit, sick dog, Joanne Schneider. I'm going to add Angela Albora, Rick's mother in the Bardo, Angela Albora in the Bardo, their families, friends, loved ones, and all beings throughout time and space. So we'll do our 3 ahs. First, becoming white energy, light with healing qualities. We first become that with the first ah. And now we share this loving energy with one another, healing, loving, all good qualities. This is a result of our merit of coming together and developing our kindness and big hearts and big minds. So we're giving and receiving at this point. And now together we send this out to all beings in the Bardo, in whatever Bardo they may be in. And so now for announcements, there's quite a lot. We are offering a lot, which is wonderful. Okay, I have a list here somewhere. Here we go. So for our Teaching Tuesdays, as I mentioned earlier, our current series is Impermanence, the Royal Road to the Buddha Nature. And that's quite amazing, as always. Our lamas are teaching that, along with some of the senior students, Renee, Claire, Mark, Nathaniel, all brilliant practitioners, scholars, amazing beings. So how wonderful is that? We have a welcome event coming up where that's on the 19th at 12:30. And this will be an opportunity to hear from our lamas on the history of Dawn Mountain, their vision for the future of Dawn Mountain, and just a nice opportunity to connect with one another. So please be sure to tune in for that. We have a class coming up in the spring. What is Buddhism? That's going to be taught by Simone Woodage and Dante, which I'm so excited for anyone that takes this course, because Simone is an amazing teacher and has taught our youth program and our children's program for years. But this is the first time that she'll be teaching along with Dante. And he is just, we all thought he was a Buddha when he was like 3, and now he's 23. He's just amazing, both of them. So this is going to be particularly geared towards teens. So all of this is on our website. If you're interested, or you know someone that would be interested in, you can find all the real specific details on the website. I know we have retreats and teachings coming up. What would we like to highlight, Harvey or Wendy, that I haven't mentioned?
We're good.
You want to mention the anti-racist class that's coming up?
There will be an anti-racism event on March 29th, and everybody will be invited to that, of course.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So,
right.
Many wondrous offerings. But thank you all for coming, and
So much, Sharon.
come again and again.
Yes.
Good to see
Thank
you.
you.
It was nice to meet you, Shane.
It's nice to meet you too.
I didn't introduce you like I should have, but for anyone who doesn't know Shane, Shane is a new member of our broadcast team. And we're just delighted to have you. So, well,
Thank you.
And Aster, is Aster there?
are you coming in from Germany?
There